Lights, camera, and action. We're back with another episode of the Channel 135 podcast. This is a show we talk about our favorite things in life, movies, TV shows, and pop culture. My name is Cams, and I'm here after also Eric, straight out of Ranui. What's up, man?
What's up, Bert? Keen to be back on the show.
Nice, good to have you, man. And, man, you know what's been ramping up? Programs on TV. That's like, because Endor season 2 starts next week. And we got Last of Us, which we're going to talk about, started on Monday, so we're going to talk about that. Daredevil's come to an end. The last episode of season 1, came out today.
Yeah.
And I just finished watching that. So it was mean.
Oh, true.
Like, it's similar to the last episode, Daredevil episode. You haven't seen it yet, but you watch that tomorrow, and then we'll do a podcast on the Daredevil season 1 finale. But man, I think everything's been full on when it comes to TV programs. I finished The Pit. The Pit finished on last Friday. That was really good show. I love that show. I think it's close to the Adolescence. Adolescence and The Pit are probably similar in regards to like realistic drama.
Yeah.
You know, and relatable to to people out there and stuff like that. So yeah, I think Adolescence and The Pit, the two sort of best new shows that come out this year, man.
Yeah,
you gotta watch The Pit, bro. It's a good series. The White Lotus is just finished, so season 3. I thought, out of the 3 seasons, this is probably down at the bottom for me. Season 1's second, season 2 is really good. I love season 2. Season 2 is number 1. So yeah, The Last of Us just in time to come out after the end of the White Lotus, because it's an HBO MAX show, just like the White Lotuses. The Last of Us, based on the game, the game. Did you ever play the game?
Yeah, I played the first one. I've heard about the second one, but I haven't actually played it myself. But I've heard stories. One of my usos have actually played the first and the second. Oh, so he would have been a good one to put on here too on this podcast. Maybe we can get him next episode.
Yeah, no. I never played any of the games, So I think, because you played the first game, did you play the first game before season 1 came out?
Yeah. I played I definitely played it, but I didn't finish it.
But from what you played, it's definitely reenacting.
Exactly the same, almost.
Exactly the same,
Yeah, scene to scene. Especially all the story parts of the game. Yeah, all this, like movie parts of the game, it's exactly the same.
It's interesting, because if they're following the game, and so the storyline's already up there. If you really want to know what happens, just gotta go on YouTube and watch the gameplay. The walkthroughs in there,
Yeah.
Watch all the cinematic bits on the video game. It's all already on YouTube, if you wanna.
Yeah, because
skip forward.
Joe was telling me that he's watched just the story part of the game, and I think he was saying to him they condensed it into like something like 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours of video of just the story parts, not the actual gameplay. And Joe watched all of that, and I was like, man, I can't do that. I have to buy the game and play it, and then watch the story part. Not like go on YouTube and watch it. I was like, man, you're a cheater. But yeah, that's how he so he knows a bit more than I do, and he was telling me bits and pieces as we were watching the episode. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I quite liked the first season, and it was funny because it came at a time when I was so sick of zombie stuff, Like I jumped the shark with The Walking Dead, maybe season 4. After season 4, Walking Dead, I just got sick of it. Never watched it again. And it was interesting because you had World War Z come out at the movies.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
A few other zombie films come out. So yeah, pretty much a lot of zombie stuff, TV and at the movies. So yeah, it was kind of like same old to me. And I think with The Walking Dead, like every season was sort of like the same old thing, and stuck in Atlanta, like in the suburbs of Atlanta. Well, it's like just got sick and tired. Like Rick and his crew just going finding another group of townspeople and fucking that all up, and then moving on to the next town and fuck that up again. So it was kind of funny, Like I think Rick and the crew were the bad guys, if you think about it. Because every time they met up with You know,
new people.
with a community,
Yeah,
they fucked it up.
and it's funny too. Basically, towards the end of like the end of the chapter,
Mm.
like each member in Rick's crew can become a leader. So like if they become a leader of a community, then that community is definitely fucked.
Yeah.
'Cause they just
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
So when it's interesting because when Last of Us first came out, I never played the game, so I never knew what it was about. But you know, I probably would have said to myself, "Oh shit, what another zombie thing? Well, I already got heaps of zombie. Why do you want to make another zombie thing?" But man, that first episode was mean, man. I remember thinking, "Damn, this is really good." And if I thought about it some more, what because it brings to mind what's the difference between what you're watching and The Last of Us and what's been out now, you know?
Mm,
So I think a lot of it is to do with, well, first of all, the zombies are different. You got different kinds of zombies, and it's a different kind of thing where the zombies are actually connected to the trees and the plants, eh?
yeah,
Um, and that's how they transfer. But then you get your different types of zombies, eh? Like when they evolve to different sort of levels of zombie power or whatever we want to call it, eh? Like you got the
yeah,
normal zombies, and then they get a big brain or something, and they call the clickers.
yeah,
And even with this new one, this new season we're seeing, we see the new smart ones, eh? Like the stalker zombies.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. I don't know too much about the zombie hierarchy in The Last of Us, but yeah, there's definitely an intelligent one. And it's
Yeah,
pretty early in the game, so it's like whoa.
yeah, that's right. But I think what makes made the first season more interesting was the fact. I think that because the main difference is the fact that there's a light at the end of the tunnel with this apocalypse, right? Because you got a kid who's immune, they might have the cure to the whole thing. So the mission is to get her to a place where they can do the studies and get the cure out of her to cure the whole thing, right? When you watch Walking Dead and all these other zombies things, there's no sort of light in the
Thank
end of the tunnel. You don't know how to get rid of these zombies. Like there's no end to the whole day. There's no way of getting things back to normal, right?
Yeah, because they're all everybody on The Walking Dead is affected already. When they die, that's when they change into a zombie.
Yeah, but there's no end. Like
No, there's no end.
there's no clear way to make things go back to normal. With The Last of Us, there is, because you've got this girl Ellie who might have the cure. So
Yeah,
now we got hope. Like
yeah,
we're watching this apocalypse, right? We're watching the humans who are left trying to survive in this world of zombies, but for the first time, we know that we can we can overcome the situation and get things back to normal. And I think you don't get that at all for any other zombie flick, eh?
no,
No.
no, you don't. It's out of it. The choices that ones make that you know the else for their own selfish needs
Mm.
amongst the survival of the human race. It's like holy shit, it's next level.
But you see that those themes keep on reoccurring on Walking Dead, and I don't know how many seasons there are now. How many seasons? Over 10, eh?
Yeah, and not only that, they all got their spin-off shows, and they're gonna have their spin-off movies soon.
Oh, see, it just keeps on going. There's no end. So yeah, I think the fact that there is hope for an end for all of it, and Last of Us is the big difference here, and probably more exciting to see because you want to see if they're gonna make it to that place where they can get things back to normal.
Yeah,
Obviously, at the end of season one, um, Joel he ends up being a father figure and does what any father would do with with their kid. Eh?
yeah,
Like when he learns that she has to die for them to extract the cure from her. Even so, they don't not even 100% of it would work, right?
yeah. So that
So
I don't think there's any evidence that it might work, but they're convinced that whatever she's got, it fools the disease, thinking they're the same. That's
yeah, that's right.
why, yeah, something like that.
So
I
when
had
you
a
So when you dive into why Joel kills the Fireflies to save Ellie, you 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 go back to how his daughter gets killed in the first episode, and how he's traumatized by it. He's saddened by it. Ellie comes into his life, and sort of on this journey, when they get to the Fireflies, he sort of made her his daughter. Like that's their relationship, right? Like he loves her so much like a father that he does at the end of the season what every single father would have done with their kid. Like not sacrifice them at all. There has to be another way. And that's why he killed the Fireflies to escape to get Ellie out of there. And then at the end of the season 1, which is the beginning of episode 1 in season 2, there's that scene again when Ellie asks Joe, "Oh, tell me the truth? Is what you said the truth? What happened to the Fireflies?" And Joe says, he lies his ass off. He says, "Yes, it's the truth." And she goes, "Okay," she accepts it. Well, you think she accepts it, but judging from what's happened in episode 1 of season 2, maybe she's thinking in the back of her mind, "You're a bullshit, Kent."
Yeah.
Do you think? But yeah, but we'll get into the spoilers on that. But for you, like this first episode, like without going into any spoilers, for me, this first episode is a typical first episode of any season 2 of any series.
Yeah.
Right. And what I mean by that is that we spend most of the time in episode 1 reconnecting with these characters again, showing us what they're up to. It's 5 years ahead of what happened in season 1, and we see where they're at. Each of these characters are at, and they've grown. Ellie is now a teenager; she's 19 now, and we see where she's at. So I think every season 2 of every series is the same for the first episode, trying to get back to these characters again, right? So you don't really have to put any action in there, like nothing. You can move the story along, but not too much, right?
Yeah.
Because the people that are watching episode 1 of season 2 already know the story because they've watched season 1. So you've already grabbed these audiences, right? So you don't have to put much in there. All you have to do is make sure that the audience can understand where these characters are. And it might be boring, or it might be nothing really happens. But we'll talk about what does happen in the episode.
Yeah.
But
it's expected, right? Always on a season like a second season of a show, the first episode, it always refers back to what happens. Well, what the characters are going through, and then they don't really need to put, like you were saying, they need to put that much action into the episode. So I wasn't, like, when I first watched it, I wasn't expecting it to be an all-out action-packed episode. I was expecting kind of like a slow pace. What's Ellie been up to, or what's Joel been up to? What are they doing? Kind of episode, and yeah, it does give that. The episode does do the job.
Whereas episode 1 in season 1 has to be action packed to get the audience. Oh shit! This is mean episode. Like, I'll continue to watch it.
Familiarize with the characters, and then boom. But season 2, episode 1, can kind of like just hey, remember Ellie, or Joel, or her brother, his brother, Tommy in it. And get us familiarized with these characters, and also introduce new characters as well to the season. So it's always good.
In saying that, it took me a little bit to figure out what's going on, like, because I never did a recap. I never went back to watch season 1.
I did a little.
You did? Yeah, I didn't. So I went straight into season 2, episode 1, and I have to admit, like, for the first 5 minutes, I was trying to think, who's this guy again? What's his name? Oh, that's the brother. Yeah, that's the brother. And are these new people? There was, but I was thinking that, like, so it took me just maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes into the episode to make me remember who's who and what was what, and because it's been a while, 2 years since the last one came out.
Because when me and Joe were watching the show, because we were watching it on our main TV in the lounge, Mum was watching with us as well. So I had to after the first season 2, first episode, I had to go revert back to season 1 of the last episode because Mum wasn't quite aware. Oh, what's going on here? So we watched the last episode of season 1 again, and then she kind of, I see. So that's the daughter, and okay, I get it. And then she realized like how much of a badass Joel is. So he just goes to their hospital and he just slaughters everybody. Just kills them all with no remorse.
Season 1 was good. Season 1's action packed day.
Hard.
And the journey Joel and Ellie took, like every episode was a different obstacle. They're on their way to see the fireflies. So and that was the cool thing about it. Like it wasn't at one place all the time. Like it wasn't the same scene, same scenery like on Walking Dead. Like I think with season 1 of Last of Us, I think each episode in Last of Us would be one whole season for Walking Dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just drags on. It drags on to the point where the zombies are just in the background.
Yeah.
And the story is not really about the zombies anymore. It's about how the humans interact with each other in the apocalypse type deal, right?
I think I got that after the second season. I was like, hang on for a sec. The zombies are not even, the dangerous part of the whole program. It's the bloody characters themselves, how they interact with each other.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, holy cow! It's like the zombies are like like lions or just like animals, and you're in the jungle. It's like fuck.
So yeah, I thought this episode was it didn't set anything on fire for me. It just reaffirmed the story again, and maybe next episode we'll get into it because things happen in this episode too to move things along, like what the danger was. So we get a glimpse of what sort of danger is gonna come to the characters.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in spoilers. So, how about you? How did you find this episode?
Yeah, exactly how you thought about it too, and I was expecting that too. I didn't expect any, big ass CGI action scenes or anything, or the characters just revert back to what they've been up to in that, and introduce us to new characters coming throughout the season, and get the story moving on, and it's looking interesting. So I'm pretty keen on this season.
No doubt. Okay, we'll go into some spoilers. So, like always, if you haven't seen the episode yet, you can pause this podcast, go into Neon or Sky Max, and watch Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1, and then come back and we're about to break down and spoil the shit out of the show. Episode 1. Right, now for the recap. Episode 1, Season 2, Future Days, directed by Craig Mazin, written by Craig Mazin. 5 years after Joel kills several fireflies at the hospital and rescues Ellie, they live in Jackson, Wyoming, but their relationship has become strained. Joel's psychotherapist Gail admits her resentment towards him for killing her husband Eugene, while Joel expresses his sadness concerning Ellie and confesses that he saved her, though he omits the murders. On patrol, Ellie and Dinah find an infected nest in the supermarket, and Ellie kills a new type of infected that silently stalks her. Ellie and Dinah kiss at a party, prompting a homophobic slur from bar owner Seth after Joel attacks him. An angered Ellie tells Joel she does not need his help, and he leaves. Infected tendrils begin to enter Jackson through a broken pipe as Abby and her friends, who have all sworn to kill Joel for the hospital massacre, observe the town from afar. And that was your WesWes Network recap. Oos, man. So we talked about how this episode is a typical season 2, episode 1, where we have to familiarize the audience, with the characters again, and at the same time show bits of the new danger or the new storyline to get pushed. So what I mean by that, like we see that Abby and the Fireflies that survived the end of season 1 episode after Joe kills a whole bunch of them to escape, want revenge, right? And they show up.
Fuck.
They're on their way to look for Joel. 5 years, man. So 5 years they had this anger for Joel. Like, man, that's a lot of hate to be keeping for 5 years. But man, it took them 5 years to find them, to finally find them. And we see that at the end of this episode, when they show up.
It
at night.
probably took them a few years to figure out that their mates are all gone. I don't know how the communication works back in those days, but like if they're all gone, then there's nobody to tell the base or someone to sit, come over and have a look and see what's up. And probably taking them a few months to get there anyway. But
Well,
yeah,
they didn't really have an idea what Joel looked like. They just said,
Nah.
"Oh, he's a handsome guy."
Yeah. Handsome dude that goes around killing with no remorse.
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
But they did go to Seattle, to some group A in Seattle, and started from there. So maybe it would have taken 5 years. Don't know how they would have tracked them down, but
I think
interesting.
I think there was a line, there was a verbal line saying that one of the other Fireflies figured out that one of the brothers or a family member was staying out there, and maybe that's how they ended up out there, just to see if Joel went in the same area, or they're just going there because there's nowhere else to go.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of the things that moves the story along. So I talked about what were the dangers, right?
Yeah.
So that was one. The second one was the plants coming through the pipe.
Yeah, is it the fungus? The cordial?
Yeah,
what do they call
the
them?
fungus. Yeah,
Cordial
finding its
or
way
whatever.
into the compound.
Fuck, that's freaky, man.
Yeah, I know.
So can that thing can it interact with the zombies? Like, hey, come over here.
Yeah. You touch it,
There's a whole bunch
walk
of
on
them.
it. The zombies know.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So there's that. And there's also introduction of a smart zombie, the stalker type.
We did see that in that one scene when Ellie's in the abandoned building, and instead of the zombie charging her down, it held back. Like any wild animal would like rush their prey, but this one held back and thought about it, and then took off, and actually planned like an ambush.
And sort of made a noise too, like to trick the human, try to trick Ellie. So and then it hid when Ellie went around the corner, came out from under the table, and bit her.
Yeah.
So we know that only Tommy and Joel are still the only ones that know she's immune, right?
Yeah.
And they're still trying to hide it. So when she gets bitten by the stalker zombie, she runs a knife through her bite, so to disguise it.
Yeah, as a scar.
Yeah, so if someone comes, they'll say, won't see a bite mark. Yeah.
Far out.
But she's pretty tough. She's older now. She's 19 years old. She's tough now. We saw that in the first scene when, in the first scenes when she's having a play fight. She's training or something. She's fighting someone in the barn.
Yeah.
And she gets pissed off when she realizes that we're pulling back their punches. So we can see that she's grown up. She still looks the same, but she's older and she's rougher. She's like a tomboy. She's one of those girls that I don't care if I'm a girl. Like, you gotta treat me like a guy. Like,
Yeah, I'm tough. I can take it.
Yeah, I can take it. I'm tough. She doesn't have a good relationship with Joel anymore. She's sort of always angry at him. He's always feels sorry for himself. Do you think that, because we were talking about that scene in the beginning where she asks him what happened and he lies to her. Yeah. She says, okay. Do you think that she thinks he's lying? He lied to her? Is that why she's angry, do you think?
I think that might be part of it. I think the other part is that she's a teenager.
Yeah, like what Gail said, the psychologist, the therapist.
Yeah, like, because me having a daughter myself, like, I see changes as well, and I'm not I'm hoping they don't go that bad when she gets older, because she's only 12. But things could change. But yeah, also I think that she does have a fair idea that Joel might be lying. Like, she can't pinpoint it, but I think she also thinks like, shit, I'm still immune. How can how can it not work? Like, that's bullshit.
Mm.
I'll be thinking that too. Like, how many times have I got a button now and I still can't change? It's like, gotta eat, guy.
Yeah. There's a lot of guilt happening with that, with Joel, how he's like, he knows what he did was wrong, but in his eyes, he did it for her because, like I said before, any father would have done the same for their daughter.
Yeah.
But the thing is with that, she's not his daughter.
I know.
He's sort of adopted her because he has feelings still for his daughter that died from the zombie. But Ellie sort of replaced his real daughter. So he's now trying to be this father figure, and that's why he's sad, because he doesn't understand why Ellie is like that to him. Maybe it's because she thinks that he lied to her. Maybe she realized later on the way things are, right? But
I was
thinking,
like she's Carol.
No, you go.
No, it looks like she's like, because she has this immune, like she knows that she's immune, right? And I think she's probably not enough. She thinks she's not enough for the community. That's why she's going through these trials, like trying to be tough, get these skills, how to train with the guys like a guy, be an important part of the community, kind of thing. That's probably part of it as well.
And they said that she stays in the garage. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't go inside the house. She stays in the garage. She does her thing. She listens to grunge music. And
and it's funny. It's familiar traits to my daughter too. Like, sometimes she goes into if my brother's not on his TV, she'll just go in his room and watch her stuff. And I was like, hey, she want to come out? I was like, oh, I want my own room. Like, oh. So it's like, oh shit, okay. Things to look forward to when they get older.
We're introduced to Gail, played by Catherine O'Hara. Now, Catherine O'Hara, she's been busy lately. She showed up in the studio as and now she's here in Last of Us. She just finished. We just saw her on the new Beetlejuice. She reprised her role.
Oh, yep.
As Delia Dietz on Beetlejuice. But she's pretty good, eh?
Yeah,
she's a pretty good actress. Yeah, the scene when she's like talking with Joel, that's crack up, eh? Like, we see that her payment is weed, and it's good that they can have a compound there, and they can still grow some weed, eh? Like,
yeah, hard on, bro. I wouldn't expect anything less than that, man. Shit, there's zombies running around. You need to relax.
Yeah, that's right. So her payment is weed. Joel gives her a bag of weed, and they continue with the therapy. Obviously, he's sort of unhappy with the way Ellie is treating them, how they're not talking and that. But then he also mentions that the other girl, Dinah, who's Ellie's best friend, is more friendly to him, eh?
Yeah, I cracked up at that.
But he actually wants Ellie to be more friendly to him. I think he just feels like after what he's done, saved her life. Yeah. He thinks that
there should be payment.
Not payment, but like, hey, I saved your life. Why are you always like pissed off at me? Why are you being like a little shit? So, but then you see that the therapist Gail, she sort of knows something's up there. He's not saying something.
Yeah, what? She knows he's hiding something, but Joel just won't come out with it. Spit it out.
And that's the cause of his pain, eh?
Yeah. And I think Ellie knows it too, probably.
Yeah, and that's why I thought, like, because when you watch that first scene, when they replay what happened, when she asks him what happened and he lies, she took it like, oh, okay, I believe you. Hey, yeah, she looks like she took it like that. I believe you, okay. But then I think through the years, because this is 5 years, right? 5 years have passed. I think through those years, she's sort of slowly realized this motherfucker was lying to me.
And
Hey.
I think it becomes more adamant after the second bite. Probably we'll see it probably next episode. She got bitten again, and she's like, "Huh? I'm still immune." So shit, this guy must be bullshitting.
But she was always mean to him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see she tattooed her arm, eh? With the bite mark.
Yeah, she got some tats on. Yeah. What do you think of the relationship between Ellie and Dinah? Because I think they're like, especially when they're in to the supermarket to kill some. They're like brave, eh? Like, you know how it was like they're used to it, eh?
Yeah, it looked like they've done it a few times.
Done it a few times, and they were trying to trap that zombie, but they were doing their hand signals, so it looked like they knew what they were doing, and you know that even did it with a knife. You know, like try to trap that zombie. So yeah, they look like best friends that they do well together in survival mode. Do well together if they're ever caught in a situation. With zombies. But yeah, man, the scene when we see the smart zombie. Is there a smart zombie in the games?
Not that because I haven't gotten that far, so I'm not too sure. But with the way it was acting, like how it was running in the background, it's obviously quite smart. It's checking its prey. So I was like, oh shit, that's different.
Yeah, so I wonder if that was an extra that they made up for the movie or for the show, or it's in the game.
Yeah, I'll find out from Joe. I'll ask him about it, and then
yeah,
or if we can get Jack on here.
That
part with the bear was pretty out of it. How like they ambushed the bear and they managed to kill it. So it's definitely smart. I was cracking up at the relationship between Ellie and her ex. Was it the captain of the group? The lady? Yeah, she was in charge of the group. She kept on turning around. Like they were like riding on the horses. He keeps on saying to Ellie and is it Diana?
Yeah, Diana.
You know, keep on telling them, hey, watch out, don't go too far. But they just said, nah, we're all good.
Yeah, they didn't listen to authority.
Yeah. Well, because it's Ellie's ex. That was crack up.
She's a little shitty, Ellie. Like, when she was practicing shooting with Tommy. Yeah. She was being a bitch, eh? She was like saying, "Oh, I'm immune." She was shouting, making them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he had that reaction to her, like, you're exactly like Joe. You and Joe are exactly the same. So, and it's funny because the next scene is when the black woman's talking to Joel about letting people in, and he's talking about because they need more people to make the construction go faster.
Yeah.
And Joel was being sarcastic. He said, "Or maybe we turn the knob to make the construction go faster." Like, so that's a sarcastic thing that we just heard Ellie do it when she shouted out in front of Tommy, and now we see that Joe's doing it in front of the black woman. So that was just like a reference to those two characters being like the same.
Yeah.
Being the same. Then we find out that Dinah's a bit of a lesbian, eh? So she has a dance with Ellie, and they sort of kiss.
Yeah.
And then
I think the Asian dude liked Dinah as well. Eh?
Wasn't that the boyfriend or the ex?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
But it was funny his line, eh?
Or he liked her.
No, like Ellie goes, oh, to try his chance, and he goes, oh, I got no luck. Like, no, not for me. And she's like, why? And then she just comes straight up to her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, so interesting, eh? Because I don't know if Dinah's gonna get killed later on, and that will be a sad thing for Ellie to go through.
If she does, I hope it's not Abby's crew that does it. Like, if it's Abby's crew that kills her, that character off, man, shit, that'll be next level murder. If Ellie's anything like Joe, Oh my gosh. I think
So
shit went
Seth, he
mental.
sort of tells them off, hey, there's kids here, no kissing. And then Joel, he pushes him away. He falls
Yeah.
down.
But when I saw that, I was like, bro, what are you doing? Just leave him alone, man. Stop protecting her.
And Ellie goes off. Yeah, Ellie goes off on me.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
need
like,
your
what
help.
the fuck?
Makes it worse.
Oh man. The weird part is how he reacted to Ellie telling him off. And he's like, oh shit, like, oh fuck up you. Oh. Okay, I'll just go. And he just took off. It's like, bro.
But that's not accepting of a category A. That's not accepting of like a LGBT sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you deal with that in a small community that needs to survive within? Like how do you govern ideas, if there's any ideas like political ideas that come into it? How do you supposed to keep everyone in order? You know what I mean?
I think the first thing is they need to concentrate on their shelter.
Like
More defense.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like Seth, he goes for the trouble to tell them off. Hey, no kissing. Like just because they're two girls.
Yeah.
Like isn't that like that's like a not a racist thing, but
There's definitely people with different opinions in their group, of course.
if it was a man and woman having a kiss, no one would care, right?
Yeah. Because it's two females.
Two females, they care. So
Because did you see his comment? He was saying, it's in the church. Do you mind? Like, he said something like that. I don't know if that was the right line, but it was something
if he
referring
said
to
there's
the
kids here.
church. Oh,
I think he said there's kids here.
All right. Jeez, what does it matter? Kids gonna know anyway.
Yeah. But man, and that's why I didn't like The Walking Dead every time they went to a new community. Because I was sick of, man, how many times we got to see a community try to survive on nothing, no electricity, got to plant food and try to keep an order in the community. That's what we're seeing in The Last of Us with their community. But I don't know. I think the stakes are more higher. But
Yeah.
it just made me think about how do you control all this stuff. Like for instance, you can't really make enemies because there's only a small number of people.
Yeah.
It's not like you make an enemy, then you can say, "Oh, no, I want to avoid you from now on." You can't avoid them because they're probably your next door neighbor forever. Because it's only a small little town thing. So I think you gotta be careful, how you, because because now Seth and Joel might just have a disagreement. They have disagreement. They might hate each other, or careful about each other. But how can you avoid each other now?
Yeah.
Because of the community. But interesting.
Yeah, that is. See how that goes. Hopefully, Seth will stop it there and not carry it on. Because he might end up dead somewhere. Especially as anything to do with Joel.
Yeah, so I think we're just talking about this episode, and yeah, it leads back to what I was saying before. Hey, nothing really happens. It's just establishing each of the characters where they're at. Jackson, Wyoming, where they are, like it looks like they're in control of what they're doing. Like it's peaceful community. They've got this council thing where there's not one leader. There's not one leader of this community. It's like a communal leadership. When Ellie and Dinah were in the meeting with the council or whatever they call it, it looked like a room where they have the shield at the back. The emblem, like a presidential room or something. And there's a council there, and they're just explaining to the council what they saw. So it's governed by a council. So there's not one person doing the whole thing. So I guess that's a diplomatic way to run that community. But you imagine like any other community that's around America, there'll be different ways of governing each of those communities. Like in season 1, when they show up to that community in that town, and they have to try to escape.
Run by the crazy lady.
By the crazy lady,
And it was more of a personal vendetta with her too. Her character was like just still focusing on her team and her people. She was just focusing on personal vendettas,
Yeah,
and it got her into the shit.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we end the episode with Abby and her boys, her crew showing up with guns, seeing the town from afar.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure if they know that Joel is actually in that town, or they're just gonna get a lead, or the brothers there. The brother,
yeah. I'm wondering if they're just gonna walk in and say, "Hey, what's up?" and then see Joel and then start shooting, or they just go in guns blazing.
Yeah.
So I can't see them going in guns blazing because there's more of those guys than there are of Abby's crew. But we'll see.
I'm tempted to go on YouTube and watch the game, see what happens, but nah, I can't do that. Eh?
Yeah, I was like, because I keep on seeing snippets of it, because how the algorithm works. As soon as you look up Last of Us, it's just giving you everything on Instagram and YouTube, and
On your feed.
flipping short videos keep on popping up on my fucking phone.
Mm.
I try to ignore it, but yeah, that scene with them on the dance hall is almost the same. But the face they use for the Diana girl is, I think, the same face they use on one of the Call of Duty games. So I recognize yeah, so like they copy and paste kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I recognize the lady, but yeah, obviously the actress, I reckon, is a lot more prettier than the actual game character. I was like, oh shit. So yeah, it's fuzzy, but it's exactly the same. It's almost like foreseen.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Even the coats they were wearing.
I'm looking forward to it. There's 7 episodes.
Oh, is it?
7 episodes for this season.
Yeah. Oh shit, they'll be like an hour each, roughly. Yeah, an hour and a bit.
Yeah. What else is there? So there's actors still to come. So Jeffrey Wright's in there. He's actually the voice on the game. So this character is Isaac Dixon. Have you heard of that character? So Isaac Dixon, he's a leader of a militia who faces an ongoing war in their pursuit for liberty. Yeah, so Jeffrey Wright. So if you know Jeffrey Wright, he's that black actor. What is he on? He's in a few films. He came on Boardwalk Empire.
Yep.
He was the doctor on Boardwalk Empire, the black doctor. Yeah, so he's
what's his name on James Bond? The iconic character James Bond. I forgot.
Felix.
Yeah, Felix.
He's
right.
Felix. Yeah,
he's Felix.
The CIA.
Hold up.
CIA agent. Yeah,
and he's Gotham on Batman.
Yep.
On the latest
Commissioner Gordon. On the new Batman.
Yeah.
The new Batman is out now. I like the show. I'll continue with it. I think it's just slow start, but we have to revisit these characters again. But I think the danger that's about to happen to Joel and is on the way in big time.
Yeah.
And in two fronts, you got the zombies coming through the pipe, the fungus coming through, and you got Abby and
the crew,
the crew that want revenge. So
the other thing I thought was that the zombies couldn't come up to the ice, like in the cold areas.
Oh yeah,
but look like they're traveling around the whole bloody mountain.
Maybe you're talking about the White Walkers.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. But no, man, I appreciate this program. I see they got a lot more money now. They've it looks like there's a lot of money spent on this. With the town they've built, the mountains. It's pretty good. It's pretty it looks expensive, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. The sets and the stuff, they look really good.
Yeah. All right, I think that's us.
Yep.
We'll get into some. Yeah, man. Last of Us season 2. Talk about the next episode next week, and we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll do Daredevil, the last finale of Daredevil, and we'll probably do Black Mirror as well. I'll watch another Black Mirror. We'll do a Black Mirror episode. But man, like I said, a lot to lot to get through, man. A lot of things to watch, and of course, Andor season 2 next week.
Shit,
So
I gotta finish off. I gotta finish off 1923 too. Just because I've watched most of it, I might as well finish it off.
Mm.
So yeah, there is a lot to watch.
Yeah, man, and we're gonna bring it all to you guys on channel 135. Breakdown.
Sweet.
I'm gonna break down. Okay, Eric, thanks for
Yup.
jumping on like always.
Thank you.
Have a good day tomorrow, and yeah, enjoy Daredevil finale.
All right, I will.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Sweet.
All right, bye.